Hey there YouTube, Logan with Hideaway Homestead here, coming to you today up around our garden area. It is a wonderful 70 something degree day. We're day before Easter right now, and I'm up here in the garden. Been doing some stuff, just going around seeing about the animals and piddling a little bit. Been kind of under the weather. I haven't been on to put a video up in 2 days, and so wanted to come on here and give you the reason for that. And it's actually the topic of this video, talking about basically my thoughts on predator control. And so what we had happen was, night before last, now some of these timelines may run together because it has been a long week, but I want to say it would have been Wednesday night. Yes, Wednesday night. I go to bed, wake up the next morning, getting ready to go to work, and I walk out into our duck little yard, and I go and I open up the door. Wasn't expecting anything, and had around 8 to 10 ducks laying on the floor dead. And so we are down to 2 ducks. They're hens. So I am hopeful that we're gonna have, I'm walking out here to the duck coop as I talked to y'all. I was hoping that we're gonna have enough eggs and enough ducks here to be able to start over, get some babies. If not, I know where to buy them, and I can get a bunch more ducks. But we're going to talk about our solution for this at the end of the video, or towards the end. But I wanted to kind of talk about predators. Here we have not had really high predator pressure like at all. We had one coyote incident of coyotes trying to get into the rabbits, and they were biting at the bottom of the cages, and actually got one of the rabbit's toes. And I did lose a rabbit. Had to go ahead and process it because it got its little front paw broke real bad. The coyotes got shot. Now, they didn't fall where I shot them. They probably went off and bled out somewhere. But that's what I did with them. I got up that night and haven't ever had a problem since. So really low predator pressure, which a lot of people would think is a good thing, but for somebody like me, especially doing something like this temporary pallet coop, it's not a good thing because certain precautions were not taken. Now, that being said, there are certain predators. I mean, you can build Fort Knox. Now, unless you go and put in like a cement slab and put some extremely heavy gauge wire and everything. I mean, basically you build a maximum security prison for your animals, then predators are always going to find a way to get in. If it's a really smart predator, or just a persistent predator. So we've been talking about what we're going to do when we get out onto the property, and the goal has always been to have livestock guardian dogs, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead now and get us a puppy. We're going to just get one for now, because it'll be enclosed with the animals, and we don't want to get more than that because they're a lot to feed. And so we're going to start out with one, and get him or her out here to protect our animals, because that's really the number one fix, is a livestock guardian dog. I had somebody back several months ago ask a question about predator control, and I had some suggestions because they were talking about coyotes, and somebody in the comment section mentioned a dog, and my response was, yeah, a good trained dog, you cannot beat that, because they're up all night with the animals. Nothing's going to come in and get them on their watch. They're going to smell the predator. They bark. They keep most of them from even coming near. But if if you do have the problem of the predator coming in and trying to harm the animals, that dog's going to take care of it real quick. You're just going to have a cheaper food bill for that month, because that dog's going to eat that predator. So that is our fix. I am pretty devastated at losing the ducks. It was horrible. Now, what I'm about to say next is not something that I'm recommending that anybody does, but this is what we did. Since all the ducks were recently killed and the night was chilly, I processed a lot of the ducks. Now, it was hard. I didn't get everything. A lot of them I just took the breast and the heart, and I took some leg quarters on some of them, and put them on ice and got them, smelled the meat. There's a lot of dangers you could get into doing stuff like that, but it's not as nearly as dangerous, I think, as people think. And so one thing to tell you is, I know that there's a guy, his YouTube channel is Farmstead Meatsmith. Dude is super knowledgeable. He is a butcher, and he talks about, like, if meat's bad, when you cook it and you go to eat it, he says that you literally cannot swallow it. Now, there's some exceptions, like if you canned meat improperly, you wouldn't be able to taste the botulism or something like that. So there's, there are some exceptions to that, but for the most part, if you've handled it properly, if it's sat up and it's just gone bad, then you will know. And I can tell you this right now, that we had some duck breasts that it sat in the part of the fridge that wasn't that cool, or like it had got left out or something. Something wasn't right with it. And I cooked it and I put it in my mouth. I couldn't swallow it. I mean, it just, you can't swallow it. So, but now, be forewarned, that is not any advice on what to do with meat. So I don't want anybody eating some rotten meat and then saying Hideaway Homestead killed me because I ate the bad meat. But we did get a good bit of meat. The younger birds were very tender. Even when they were dead, that they were pretty easy to skin, considering how hard it is to skin some of the bigger birds. So I know that here on out, when we process ducks, the drakes will probably do them at 16 weeks. This little guy wasn't quite 16 weeks, but if we get him to 16 weeks, that's a very good size for processing. It's a good amount of meat, and it's still nice and tender and easy to process. So anyway, back to the predators. There's a lot of things you can do other than dogs. Now we're going to do dogs just because it's the max fix-all. We're going to get our puppy from Nevermore Farms. Now, I'm not going to name drop them right now because I haven't asked them whether I can name drop them or not, but as far as the individuals that run Nevermore Farms, but they're great people, wonderful people, and I've been talking to them about getting the puppy. They're raising theirs with chickens right now, and so the puppies sleep with the meat chickens. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and get a dog from them. They've got other puppies. If you're interested in getting one, you can go to their Facebook and check them out. They're in North Carolina. So, check up with them and see if you can go out. If you're close, go out there and get one. We're going to do a little road trip, me and my family. And we're going to meet up and get us a puppy. But other things that you can do if you can't have a dog at the moment, there are a lot of things that you can do. One thing to consider is electric fencing. Electric fencing, if I would have had it around here, it might have prevented what happened. I don't know. It was either a raccoon or a weasel is what my best guess is on it, because all of the animals had wounds up here, and some of the animals died a few days later or a couple of days later, just because I guess the loss of blood. We lost our big drake, and so all we've got is just the two little hens left, and they look like they're doing okay. I think they're going to be fine. So I'm hoping, I'll go ahead and turn around here. Sorry, this is a little vloggy. I'm not a fan of vlogs, but this is what we've got. We've got some eggs in here. I think there's 6 there, and they're not using the other nest. I made these nests. I'll probably make another video just about this. This was another just redneck engineered real quick to get them to where they'll lay. We had problems because that other nesting box was up so high, they all wanted to sleep in it. You know, Muscovies, they're roosting ducks, so they're all about getting up as high as they possibly can. So anyway, that's what's been happening to us. But you know, the Predator electric fencing is another great option. You can also look into there's creative ways to keep predators out of areas. So for example, like I keep my rabbits up in cages, and one of the things that I've done with one of my cages and that I plan to do in the future if I ever had to have rabbits somewhere, or you know, if I'm doing it for somebody who doesn't have a dog, because we'll have dogs now, is you put basically, like, you think about, you got the cage floor, right, and then you take like a 2x4 wire, welded wire, and you build another small cage underneath it, just that way all the poop and everything falls through the cage, but you've got a gap in between the floor and that to keep any kind of dogs or anything from reaching up. You use small wire around the rest of the cage, so that way raccoons can't get their hands in, etc. There are very creative ways to keep predators out, and some of them work really great. But when it comes to, like, you know, large flocks, large herds, and you've got you know, large infrastructure, a lot of people, I mean, you can't afford to build a maximum security prison to have, you know, a dozen eggs a week. That's an expensive or an expensive dozen eggs. So having the dog is going to be the you know, best fix for us. If you've got any kind of predator stories, of which I'm sure if you've kept animals and you have a homestead, you have predator stories. I think that there's very few people that are in areas that just there's no predator pressure, which, you know, I mean, that does happen. This here is a really low predator pressure area. Most of the stuff that we've had in the past has always been stray dogs, and that's been part of my bias to not want a dog, is because most of the stuff that killed my chickens growing up were dogs, you know, stray dogs, the neighbor's dog, you know, coming over and wringing the chickens' necks. But you know, if you've got any things like that, any kind of creative ways or videos that you've seen on keeping predators out, identifying predators, trapping predators, you know, drop those down below. I think it would be a good conversation, because it's something that we all deal with. And most of the people that I know, though, and everything that I've read from the dogs, I knew that the Great Pyrenees or something like an Anatolian Shepherd was going to be the way to go. We will be documenting a lot of stuff about our dog we're getting. It'll be a great pet for my daughters too, so it's just going to be a positive all the way around. And one thing that I will add before I go is that one of the reasons I started doing the rabbits was because, one, I wanted to have a meat source that was a lot like chicken, that didn't require all of the processing equipment that chicken does. You know, if you really want to process a lot of chickens, it's best to have a picker and a scalder, and you know, they are a little bit more difficult to clean. So there was that, but then also to be able to have a good food source for dogs in the future. And rabbit is an extremely healthy meat. It's got some fat in it, you know, on the skin, or on the muscle underneath the skin, and then in the viscera, and in the liver. So there's a good amount of fat. You know, you can do eggs, and that's a cheap way to feed your dogs because it goes longer. But anyway, if you've got any questions or comments or anything to add, go ahead and drop those down below. Leave a like on this video if you found it helpful. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and do so. I drop a video like this mostly every day, except for when I have a predator come in and kill all my ducks. I appreciate all y'all watching, and we'll see you in the next one.